G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map playing as the French. We've got Vortex. On the opposite side of the map playing as the Chinese in the red. We've got Recon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the road to Red Bull Wallalol Legacy. These two players are looking to fight it out and seal that golden ticket to Heidelberg and fight amongst the world's best for $300,000 of prize money. And boy, oh boy, do we have a game for you here today. Now, obviously, you guys will be familiar with this matchup, but would you be familiar with this map? Have a look at this bad boy right here. This is called Wood Wall. It is a brand new map that has been used for the road to Red Bull Wallalol Legacy. And my, oh my, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to be real with you guys. It's a little bit funky. So let's talk about what are the features of this map. So first and foremost, you kind of sit up on a little bit of a higher plateau in the center. So it gives you the line of sight advantage when you're defending. That's the first thing. Second of all, there's these giant cliffs that run along the center towards the enemy base. And then across that, we've got an absolutely huge wood wall, as the name would suggest. So look, I'm curious to see how this game plays out, but I've got a sneaking suspicion no one's going to be breaking through this wall in the center anytime soon. But you guys know the Mongols. Hey, I'm actually thinking about it, right? You know the Mongols, how they get a gur. You get the gur, you put it down on your uvu super early. You research the improved forestry. It allows you to chop down a tree with one hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom, you're through, baby. Who needs wood walls? You've got lumberjacks, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Now, let's talk about the edges of this map. A lot of stealth forests out around the corners. One of the reasons why this map, I think, is going to be great for civilizations like the French is just because of the fact it's very open around the back of the base and difficult because you don't really have a front that you can just attack the French player. It's very easy to counterattack on this map, very easy to hit the back sides. You can just run in, loop around the side. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, I would suspect 2TC into mass knights is what we're going to be seeing, but we'll wait and see exactly what Vortex has got in store for us. In store for us or in store for us? I'm not sure what the actual saying is because both make sense, right? Install, like a little stall, but at the same time, in store for us, going to the store. But anyway, I digress. Vortex now aging up, no surprise as to what he's going to be going up with. It is, of course, going to be the School of Cavalry. Surprise, surprise, over on the other side, Recon, still quite a ways away from aging up. No, hasn't actually gone for wheelbarrow, which is a good sign. Sometimes you do see players go for an early wheelbarrow. Was it Lee Knock? I think, yeah, Lee Knock with the 6-minute Chinese wheelbarrow. Just, don't, oh, geez, Lee Knock. So, minimal wood on this map, though. So that is a big factor. So, behind your base, plenty of small little, I guess you'd say, forests. And then in the middle, obviously, that's where the juicy parts are. Look, I kind of like the design of this map. It's very hard to wall off as well. I mean, you could get walls down. It's going to be difficult to defend it, though. Actually, on a position like this, it wouldn't be terrible. A wall here, and then a wall finally up to that position. So that could work. But I guess the difficult thing is, right, you're playing as China. Where do you put your Barbican? I guess you put it, like, right here. I'm assuming. I mean, he's going to go Imperial Academy. No, where are you even taking wood? I'm assuming you're taking wood from here. So, yeah, not the most fortunate placement for his Imperial Academy. Can't really get it much better than that, but hey, he gets 2 of the 3. It's not terrible. Over on the other side, we'll check in with Vortex and see how he's doing, as he is going to be going for that early wheelbarrow. Just 3 villagers on gold, so everything looking pretty stock standard at the moment. Just going to be harassing that villager, and here we see that classic villager buck. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but the villager was trying to drop off the gold and was unsuccessful just because it was being interrupted by the scout. So you do have to manually fix that. You can manually fix it, but ooh, the music has piped up a little bit. Never mind, we've gone back to calm, cool, collected times. I think because he was under attack from the town center, it triggered the music. I'm not sure exactly why that was. 3 vills on gold, though. More than enough to get that first night out. Look at the beautiful macro here coming. 4 minutes 30. Night out immediately. Wheelbarrow in the queue. Vortex has done this a million times before. You guys have seen him with all of his different smurfs on the ladder. Second scout going to be running in here for Recon. He's going to be looking to take down Vortex's scout. Not successful. Not today. As that other scout on the other side of the map continues. Just being annoying, frustrating Recon, we can suspect. But now, the question is, where does that knight go? And typically on this map, or typically on any map, you'd be looking to follow the knight. But my fear is that you send the knight this way, And he can just run the other way past the town center and you're going to lose sight of him. But I mean, realistically, you kind of know where they're coming from. And if you're playing as China, like you just keep one scout here, one scout over on the other side. You cover both of the apexes and you're going to be fine. Second landmark is coming up for Recon on the other side. A little bit late here. Not the best timing, but this is a 2 scout opening. So obviously 2 scout opening going to be a little bit slower than a 1 scout opening for China. It looks like, did one of those scouts go down? Indeed it did. So we're going to cross out that 2 scout opening and change it back to a 1 scout opening, as it looks like Vortex is going to be taking that stone. So indeed, I suspected that this was going to be the case on this map. So you'd look for a pretty big boom and then just really hit your enemy with a whole bunch of knights. And speaking of knights, we got some knights coming through to Recon's base right now. He immediately tries to get away with the villager. That's going to be -1 immediately for Recon as this game begins. There it goes. And no, unfortunately unable to get up this wall in time. And I don't even think he would. Oh my lord, look at the wolves up here. You got to be careful on this backside. Have we got the same thing over here? Oh, we do have the same thing here for his opponent. Look at that. So there must be some sort of code that forces the wood to spawn with wolves around it. I guess to discourage walling. If so, that's pretty cool when you think about it, right? Like that's very, very cute. But we'll check in with Recon. We'll see how he's doing. At the moment, no barracks coming out just yet. He's got plenty of villagers on food, not a lot of villagers on wood. And you can see the consequence of this map just not securing a wood source. We've got a Barbican that is out over on the western flank. It secures pretty much secures both of these hunts. But where's the wood at? Where's the wood at? I think they wrote a song about that. Where the wood at? I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. But yeah, Recon really struggling right now with a lack of wood, a distinct lack of wood. Moving out towards, don't tell me, is he going to chop? Where are you going with this, Recon? I don't know if okay, he's going for a mill here. Interested, I'm not sure what the thought process is behind Recon's play here. I just think he probably wasn't ready to lose this wood line. And it all comes back to the consequence of not trailing back this knight. I mean, we talked about it a bit earlier, where you'd ideally have 1 scout at each of the apexes of this corner. And that's just simply to track the knight and keep a tab on where it is, so that when your villagers are out here walling, they don't actually die. And that's exactly what happened. So that knight is behind enemy lines, and now up towards the north, we see Vortex rounding the corner. He knows that Barbican is there. You can see him being very intent on the way that he plays this one out. Doing a great job, and this is just what makes France just such a great civilization, because they get their stable for free. It's their landmark, but then in addition to that, they've got just royal knights. It's a killer combination, and single-handedly just makes it very difficult. And speaking of very difficult, we could have some more trouble up here for Recon right now. He's going to try and do a bit of quick walls. Looks to get them up, so he's going to be able to wall himself in, wall himself out. Depends on the way that you look, as the knight now comes in up on the north side. And this is just the problem. You blink for even just a second, and that is it. You've lost a villager. And this is the problem with, well, not, I shouldn't say the problem. This is the thing about playing France, is that you blink and you will lose villagers. That is just the reality of it. And, you know, not only do you lose villagers, but the French player making more villagers than you, and obviously second town center. And so the question is, where does Vortex go from here? Now, I guess the indicator for me is the fact that we're seeing chivalry coming in. To me, that indicates it might be a bit more of a feudal age play, but he is stacking quite a fair bit of villagers on gold. You can see him transferring over now. So it could be a castle play that he is moving towards as well, but we do only see that one stable down for the most part. I would expecting a bit more of a heavy feudal play. Knight coming in. First spearman finally out right now for Recon. I think Recon's learned his lesson on this map. I don't think he'll ever be opening without a barracks in this game ever again. Spearman gonna be villagers get some stabs. Yep, okay, good. I was gonna say, if the villagers get some stabs, they should be fine. And now as a result, that knight not gonna be able to heal back up. Remember, Vortex is researching chivalry. Had that knight gotten away, had it made it all the way up to the north and avoided the wolf and potentially gone up into the corner, we may have seen a full health knight coming back in. Vortex doing a really good job of just keeping tabs on everything. I guess my main concern is like a counterattack over from this eastern side of his base, but he doesn't really seem too phased by it. For the most part, Recon just going to look at the... Oh, geez, Recon, we got to talk about this macro, my friend. Recon stacking up at 1,100 resources 9 minutes into the game. Things starting to look tough for him. Recon on the other side, though, he's playing it absolutely perfectly. He's got the blacksmith down, and this is exactly what you'd expect to see. Double stable now coming up. This is the killer French, and I love this style of French. Honestly, if I was going to play this... No. Is he just going because he needs more wood, or is he going because he wants to do the chop through? Because if he wants to do the chop through, that's actually sick. Think about it. It's super smart. But now we've got villagers moving out over to the stone. Looks like one charge gets off. Villager number 1 goes down. He looks to pick up the second one. Does get it. Knights make their way out, and that's part of the reason why France is so damn good. Villager count at the moment for a 40 for Recon compared to 45 for Vortex. So doing a pretty decent job of keeping up with the French player despite the second town center. And those villagers, they've just moved out to the center to chop wood for the most part, it seems. But now those stables are coming up. Second stable as well as third stable. It's going to be a castle age that comes through. Now the question is whether he goes for Royal Institute, whether he looks to go for the guild hall. Let's have a look and see. Landmark probably going to be going down. It's going to be a royal. No, I don't even know. Where's that landmark? It's a Royal Institute though. So we are seeing this landmark coming out more and more. No real surprise. It's in my opinion, it's significantly greater than the guild hall. Just it synergizes very well with the French play style. You know, the early 2TC. And speaking of early 2TC rather, Vortex going to be looking to focus down the villagers underneath the second town center that Recon's just built. He's got a single spear in here, a couple more coming up the rear, but this is where it starts to get tough. It's all about this timing, and something that we talk about quite often is that French knights do very effectively against spearmen, even if they've got that hardened upgrade like they do here, just simply because once they get veteran status, once they get all their charge bonuses and whatnot, that's when it really starts to get difficult to deal with. You throw into account the fact that there's an extra 30, is it 35%? An extra 35% health coming in from the Royal, or from the Royal Institute, and it makes it very difficult just because of Royal Bloodline. So much royalty over on the French side of the map, actually. Let's take a look and see how much it costs. They had the cost change. I think it went from, did they change it from 30% to 40% reduction? God, that's so cheap, isn't it? 490? Look at that bad boy. An increase of 35%. Why not? Jeez, sign me up. Sign me absolutely up. But not enough resources in the bank for it just yet. He's just going to be moving into veteran Royal Knights for the moment. I was going to say elite Royal Knights. It's going to take 90 seconds for Royal Bloodlines to come in. Typically, you'd like to start it a little bit earlier than the elite upgrade, just because ideally you want to avoid fighting until you've got both. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. Third TC in the center here. Now, one thing to note is that you can't actually get line of sight over here with outposts or barbicans or anything of that nature. But there is one building, one landmark in particular, where you can get line of sight. And perhaps part of the reason why China might actually be decent on this map. It's the Imperial Palace. If you were to place an Imperial Palace right here, it will give you perfect line of sight over to your enemy's side. So you'll have a good indication of where they are, what they're up to, all that sort of jazz. And you'll be able to see over. Spearman, very interestingly deciding to scout, just checking out the enemy base. Unfortunately, running into a veteran Royal Knight. Spears moving out decently, but unfortunately, I feel like this is not going to be enough spears to deal with the Royal Knights here. He might be able to pick off one or two, but we'll have to wait and see. As now villagers moving forward for Recon, I suspect. Oh, we got a little bit of a cute herding coming in. Look at this next level herding strategies. Take a look at this right here. Next, have you guys ever seen an army herd deer? That's a beautiful use of the game mechanics right there. That is hilarious. I've never seen that before, but I absolutely love it. Now you can use the Barbican to also shoot these deer. Let's see if he does it. I don't think he's going to realize. He's not going to, but he is sitting on 3 TCs. I'm liking Recon's position. Now, there's a really key factor here. Now, Recon just needs to not die in the next 5 minutes. That's going to be the big thing. So, ideally for Recon, what I would be doing, I would be throwing down like 1, 2, 3, 4 barracks and spamming spears. Because how do you die in the next 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes? Royal Knights. That is literally it. So I would just be spamming out spears non-stop right now. And you can see he's only got villagers in queue. Doesn't have really much insight as to what his enemy's up to. He knows he's in the castle age. He knows that there's knights out. He saw that the veterancy has come through. Would be able to check the health on this bad boy, but still wouldn't be sure as to whether there's a Royal Institute down. And speaking of Royal Institute, we do see Royal Bloodlines coming through, and that number of knights is continuing to build. Things starting to get tough for Recon. He's got plenty of gold in the bank. One of the things that we've always or often seen is Chinese players failing to really adapt to the new Chinese, where there's just so much gold coming in from your imperial officials. Because if we check on these bad boys, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 2 collecting, 2 supervising, which means that there is just gold coming in all the time. But now we've got some spears that are going to get picked off. This is always the start of something terrible. One, because all of these spears, they start to add up. Oh, where are all the spears? Oh God. Oh Lord. Oh. 85 villagers, 5 spears. Well, this hasn't been the best demonstration of what this new map's got to show. Unfortunately, Recon had a little bit of a hard one here, fellas. Imperial officials sacrificing themselves to the greater French gods. unfortunately going to be losing both of their lives. But you know what? The good thing about Imperial officials and their silly billy nature is that you can now very easily replace them just through the Imperial Academy. So I do like this change. But with this, it's going to be very hard right now for Recon to defend. We do see a market getting dropped down. It was the 1,400 gold that triggered it. He's like, you know what? 1,400 gold, maybe that's a little bit too much. But, well, fellas, it's been absolutely real. Good game, well played. All that jazz. He went for 3 TC against France without really knowing what French was up to. French did the classic 2 TC into a lot of knights. And, well, I'll be honest, I'm not surprised at how it turned out. This is very difficult for China to hold. And you really got to know that it's coming. And good game does indeed get called, fellas. Thank you so much for watching the game. And my, oh my, we got an interesting one for you right here, don't we? Well, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Check out Wallalol, and I'll catch you guys later.